Hello students, this is Sulekh Sharma from ECB College Bikaner. Today in this video we will proceed with our PCA by understanding the steps that we need to perform to find the principal components with the help of this feature extraction technique known as PCA. So the steps in PCA we have divided into 6 steps. First one is we have to standardize the data set. That means standardization of data. Second step is we have to calculate the covariance matrix. Then we need to find out the eigenvalue and eigenvectors, which are actually our principal components. Then we will choose out of those eigenvectors k eigenvectors that we have discussed in previous video also, that we need to reduce the dimension set from n to k. So these are the number of that eigenvector, the principal component that we are going to reduce our features to, and simply the eigenvectors that we will calculate in step number 3 will play the role of principal component over here. And finally, with the help of these principal component, we will find our transformed data set, that means new values for all the data points that are in our data set. So proceeding with these steps, I'll explain each step you one by one. First one is standardize the data set, which basically mean that we have to convert our data points in such a way that they have zero mean and standard deviation as one. This standardization is done to just scale all the points, all the features, the scaling of all the features from different ranges. You see, there may be a number of features in which the value of one feature may lie between 0 and 1. Another feature could be whose value lie from 1 to 1000. So this could cause unevenness in our data set. So to have a proper variation and the scaling of all those features in proper manner, we need to standardize the data set, all the points in our data set, and this we have to do with the help of finding mean and standard deviation. And finally, the new or standardized value of each data point need to be calculated by this formula that has been written over here, that value of that particular data point minus mean. Simply value over here is the value of that particular feature or variable. So for each feature you must have some value for your training data, your training instance. For each training instance, for corresponding feature, you must have a value. So you need to standardize all the values. Then you need to subtract the value of mean and you need to divide it by the standard deviation that you will calculate. As we have already discussed that this, after standardization, our next step will be we need to calculate the covariance matrix. As we have discussed in previous video also, that covariance matrix or simple covariance or correlation among various features exist. As we have talked about positive and negative correlation, so these types of correlation are measured with the help of covariance, which we will store in terms of a matrix, and this matrix will be a square matrix showing square matrix of n into n, that is basically the number of original features we are having. So for each of the feature we have to find a value of correlation, a measure of correlation that exists with the other feature. With itself, the term we use is the variance, and for other variables, for other features from one feature, the term that we use is covariance. So simply, to calculate that covariance, we have to create a matrix where this square matrix will be have a dimension equal to the number of features. For example, if we having 3 dimensions or 3 features in the dataset XYZ, then the covariance matrix will be of the form as shown over here. So this covariance between the same dimension x and x is termed as variance over here, and covariance between x and y, then we need to calculate it for all the pairs, forming it as a square matrix. What this covariance matrix actually told us is about the sign. If it is having positive, then we will say that two features of the variables will increase or decrease together. Whatever effect we are having on one will have on same on the another, as we have discussed in previous video also about the linear relationship. If one variable was increasing, another was one increasing simply, and if another if one is decreasing, another one is also decreasing. So this is the positive correlation between the two, and if it is negative, then when one is increasing, other one is decreasing. So these covariance matrix give us an idea about that. After that, our next step is to calculate the values of eigenvalues and vectors. If you remember a little about your linear transformation in the matrix that we are using here for the transformation of original features to some new features, we are using linear transformation of the matrix. So eigenvector is a non-zero vector that changes after linear transformation when applied to it, that when it corresponding to a square matrix, there exists eigenvalue and eigenvector basically, and that eigenvector generally gives us the direction of the variance of the data that we are having. As we were discussing in previous slide, that for among with the direction of the variance of the data set, we are designing our principal component. So eigenvectors are basically those orthogonal vectors that are giving us the direction of the variance of the data set, and eigenvalues is that coefficient that tell us how much variation is there. So simply, eigenvalue is the value that defines the variation in the data set, and eigenvectors give you the direction, and by combining these both, we are having our principal component. And eigenvectors, when will be calculated, they will be in a sorted form, and the eigenvectors with the highest value will show you the highest variance or highest variation in the data set, and the eigenvalues will give you the amount of variance that has been carried in each of the principal component or each of the eigenvectors. That's why we sort our eigenvectors according to their eigenvalues, respective eigenvalues, and then pick the top eigenvectors which are having most of the information for those values. So for our square matrix, our covariance matrix, there exists an eigenvalue and eigenvector such that this equation holds true, that is AV is equal to lambda V, where V is the vector that we are talking about and lambda is a scalar. If this kind of equation exists, then lambda is known to be eigenvalue and V is known to be eigenvector for that particular matrix A. In our case, our covariance matrices are A, and we need to find out this lambda and V. Again, after rearranging the equation, we have a equation of form AV minus lambda V equal to 0. Since these all are considered to be matrix and vector form, so we have to when we are distributing it over vector V, we have to multiply our scalar with the identity matrix, making it equal to 0. So either of these two values that we are talking about is either V equal to 0 or A minus lambda I should be equal to 0 to make it true. So V is a non-zero vector, as we have already told. So we will consider about the second equation that we are talking about, that determinant of A minus lambda I will be 0. After solving this equation, we will have our lambda eigenvectors and eigenvalues. After finding our eigenvalues and eigenvectors, depending on the eigenvalues, we need to sort them out. As here we have considered an example that lambda 1 and lambda 2 as two values that has been found out after some calculation of a particular task that has been given to us. So it is clear that lambda 1 is greater than lambda 2. So for the corresponding equation that we have found out, vector v1 corresponding to lambda 1 and will be considered as at first principal component, and lambda v2 corresponding to lambda 2 will be considered as second PC component. If we look clearly over here, out of these two values, most of the information, if you need to find out the percentage, you need to simply divide 1.28 divided by the sum of these two. So 96% of the variance of the information is stored in our first principal component, and remaining 4% is stored in second principal component. So if we are having a case where we want to reduce this particular example where we are having 2 dimension, we want to reduce it to 1 dimension, I will keep only the first one and discard the next one because it is having less amount of information or the variance that is stored over here. After that, we will simply choose our top eigen values in their respective eigenvectors in a sorted form, in a ordered form. For example, I am choosing both the cases, then I will just put them one after another. So this is your this one is your v1 as we have discussed in previous case, and this one is your v2. So both the vectors are put together to form a matrix which will be considered as our principal component matrix or the feature matrix. And at last, the last step will be to find out our transform data that will be calculated by multiplying the feature matrix, the original data set matrix, original feature matrix, with the eigenvectors that you have chosen, by multiplying them both, and we will have our values of new data points, because in the original matrix, original data set also, for each of the features some values are given. So we need to find out simply the new values for those features. So we will just multiply these matrix of the original matrix with the one that we have calculated in previous slide, and we will have our data points. So this was the only about the explanation part of how we compute our principal components with the help of covariance matrix and eigenvectors and eigenvalues. Thank you very much for this video. In next video we will consider a numerical example and apply these steps one by one to find out the values and find out the principal components for a given task. Thank you very much. Stay safe and stay home.